What's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It is September 12th. You're in the weekend. I hope everybody has had a safe and blessed week. No matter what you're going through right now, just know that you're prayed for. But I know that this message right here is long overdue. And it's going to cost me, it'll probably cost me some, it's going to cost me some subscribers. But that's okay, because I see your worth. I know my purpose. And I hope that it's going to save somebody's life. This past couple weeks, I start my day and end my day the same way, and that's in prayer. And I'm a strong believer of the importance of embracing your discernment, as well as being able to understand and identify spiritual messages, such as through synchronicity and serendipitous events. But these last couple of days, I've had this uneasiness in my spirit. And as I always do, I allow my spirit to remain still, to allow me to understand what God, my Lord Jesus Christ, His angels and spirit guides are trying to convey. A lot of times these things are illustrated through, sometimes it comes through music. Sometimes it comes through a series of a sequence of numbers. As you already know, for those that are in or have studied or just aware of numerology, I'm a number 8. When I started to do the research on my life, I saw correlations of the sequence 8, 8, 8. Now, when I began my spiritual walk October 18th, 2011, I was like a lot of you. I just wanted to understand. I wanted to have a better aspect of not only my reality, but I wanted to have a better perception on where I'm going. I believe a lot of you are good-hearted people. All you've ever wanted was peace of mind, emotional safety, and to feel loved. I've allowed myself to place God first in everything I do. And I truly believe in my every fiber of my being that when they say the parable, each one, teach one, it is real. Just as how we convey it. But the kicker is, are you willing to receive it? Sometimes you will get messages and you will see things play out in your life. It's not by chance. It is divinely ordered. I used to say this all the time, God is the greatest comedian because he has to have a sense of humor to put up with our foolishness, to look at the disappointments that we willfully choose. He has to. But I also believe this. Every moment is a blessed moment because you'll never get it back. So it's very important that you see your worth. So that means you have to invest in you, y'all, at all costs. Because, see, I believe, bear with me, I'm playing with this. I believe that we are in the midst of a spiritual battle. I ain't got to tell you. All you got to do is look at that TV, your smartphone, or any way you should receive information. Look at the climate in that. I believe that through a continual display or a continual exposure to a certain point, environment, will eventually cause a person to either take awareness of what's being reviewed or slowly erode the way you see things. But the reason I'm putting this video out here is something bigger. I didn't know how I was going to tackle this one, but I know God is going to use me as a filter to reach that person. It could be you. It could be someone that you hold very dear. It could be a loved one. It could be the neighbor across the street. So I'm just going to allow him to use me to do his will. The reason why I'm putting this video out right now is because of this. You're waking up this morning with a heaviness on your heart. And it's unlike any pain that you felt. Now, granted, in the past, you've had these episodes play out, but in your mind, you've navigated through it, through distractions. But today is different. It's very different. Because today, you're at a crossroads. What I'm talking about is those people who are dealing with currently or have dealt with betrayal. Oh, yes, that big B word. We see it on the TV, we see it in the movies, we hear it in the music. I'm a firm believer, y'all. No matter how it is interpreted or displayed, someone had to experience something to talk about it. There is still a form of knowledge that can be used, so they speak on it. But today is different. Today is very different. And I'm hoping that whoever this video is for, you embrace everything that I'm about to convey to you. Because if you take the nonchalant position, you're going to ruin your life. See, nothing happens by chance, y'all. Nothing. That's why free will is what it is. The two greatest gifts God ever gave you was the ability to love yourself, and the second was free will. So that means you got choice. You got choice. So with that being said, how well are your choices if you don't know you? How can you make a sound decision for you if you cannot see the forest between the trees? How are you going to make proper choices if you're not still? See, I don't know if I need to throw the explicit content on the title, because I need to reach the intended heart and mind, because I got a feeling somebody, you are at that proverbial straw that is broken, and you're looking for retribution. Y'all remember a couple weeks back, maybe a month or two, I talked about the revenge, not to look for revenge, look for you. Well, I'm going to peel that onion back a little bit, because I understand that, hey, you got enough stuff going on in your day. You're going to take what you need and throw away the rest. But what cost? Let's talk about that heart of yours. Let's talk about that beautiful heart that you got, and it got scars on it. It got bruises on it. It's got areas that have been so damaged because of events and people that you have willfully aligned yourself with the mindset that that person is going to be the end all be all, only to take you not one step back but 5 steps back. Has convinced you that the identity that you have is not the identity they need. So they put you in a box. You got to act a certain way, talk a certain way, walk a certain way, and pretty much put that shackle on your arms. Some of y'all are already doing that anyway, because you're messing around with that 50 Shades of Grey. So now the rubber has met the road. All those doubts that you had, all those nuances has a clear picture, and you're saying enough is enough, and you've already convinced yourself that you don't care. You've actually had the audacity to think, well, you know what? What if I just harm myself? If I check myself out, it don't make a difference. But now, you've allowed that spitefulness, pride, your ego, pain to have footing in your life, and it has impacted your psychology now. You're walking around in the midst of the people that you've hurt, that have hurt you, and you plotting. You having thoughts go across your head like, yeah, you're going to get hungry sooner or later. That's your last meal. You're looking at things that you've already heard about, and you already in your mind, you are trying to hatch a plan. Can't you see how broken and hurt you are? But yet, let's talk about that other emotion that you have in your spirit. How about remorse? How about forgiveness? How about compassion? I know you're saying right now, Gerald, I ain't trying to hear all that. I can't believe she did that to me. Who she thinks she is? Or you may say, I work too hard, Gerald. Every time I come around, he ain't helping me grow. And he gonna have the nerve to bring her around? You trying to rationalize bad behavior with bad behavior. Why won't you see your worth? Why won't you look within inside your heart? Take out the words of how I'm conveying it and listen to the message a little deeper. Because if you look a little deeper, you'll see this. In the shadows, there's that devil. And he's banking that his investment, because see, he set the tone. You claimed it. You opened that spiritual door. Therefore, he gave you what you wanted, not what you needed. And there were signs along the way. How many times you had to scratch your head and say, I ain't crazy. I know what I said. Why are they dispelling my actions? Why are they watering down my efforts? For them? So now you have an anger inside your heart that is going to destroy it. And guess what? You think the devil care about that? He think he won. Remember the story, the biblical story of Job? Before Job went through all those spiritual tests, there was a conversation between the devil and God. And that conversation was, he ain't worthy of you. But let's keep it in mind. The devil don't like anything that has love in it. He don't like love because guess what? That's an extension or a display of God. So every time that you get hurt, every time you get abused, every time you get mistreated, it's like dealing with somebody that has, it's like dealing with a sociopath. They have no empathy. They have no remorse. They have no regret because they have a survivalist mentality. It's the means to an end. So if I got to set you up in the beginning to let this play out and I can get all those people to go down with you, it's worth the investment. That's how we see it. So, you waking up this morning, half rested because your mind won't let you be at peace. You're reflecting back to every conversation, every event, every action, and you're dotting I's and crossing T's, and you've come to a conclusion that instead of taking the step back to ground your feet, you're going to destroy your life by way of destroying theirs. Why won't you see how precious your life is worth? Now, I will say this, and I'm going to get off of it. even in betrayal, you can also find a blessing in that too. I know somebody saying, how is that, Gerald? My life as I knew it has been destroyed. The marriage that I had is no more. The man that I love is with another woman. You know what you're seeing? You know what you're seeing? You're seeing somebody finally not able to wear that mask anymore. It's too heavy. So you're finally seeing the real person. Why you think that you've heard conversations from other people and they're saying, well, you know what? The person they're describing, which is the person that you're aligned with, ain't the person that you know. That's not coincidence. It's not coincidence. Because the person they know, the dynamic that they have, depending on how intimate it is, will also have a level of authenticity in it as well. But you got to understand this. The apple don't fall far from the tree, y'all. It don't. And that's why I got to put this out here too. You think for a million, you think you were birthed on this planet to suffer? Hmm? Some of y'all are in legalized slavery right now, and it's called a wedding band. It's called a marriage. And every day you wake up, you look over at them, they look over at you, y'all don't even say hello. When's the last time you said, I love you? You looking at your girl who should be your queen, and you notice that when she around you, she don't even feel comfortable to undress. She go in the bathroom. Why? She can't stand you. So now you're starting to add things up. There's a third party involved. And you felt this all along, but you couldn't put your foot or your finger on it. You've probably tried in a lackadaisical way to ask the needed questions. And what do? They deflected it. Made you seem like you the one that was crazy all along. You wasn't crazy. You were walking in clarity. But now, you're at a point. You're actually considering doing something that is going to change your life forever. Not alone the people that are connected to you. I got this feeling right now. What about them kids? What about them kids? You know, I know my grandma used to say, you know, kids are walking, talking tape recorders. They watch and see everything we do. And it's correct because you are the most prominent influence in their lives. So the behavior that you convey, they're going to emulate. If you got a son and your son see you disrespecting his mother, well, guess what? In the back of his mind, he's going to think that's how you're supposed to interact with women. He's going to think that's norm. Or reverse. If his son is watching his mother disrespect men or worse, herself, guess what? He's going to have low self-esteem and he's going to think that all women act that way. Same thing, my fathers. You got a daughter. If she see you disrespecting her mother, because let me tell you something. The rules of them not knowing what time it is, you are fooling yourself. Because by the time they turn 8 years old, not only can they cognitively understand, they might not can formulate the words, but they understand exactly what is going on. And unfortunately, it's going to take a long time for that to heal. And that's going to be your burden. So, you waking up and you're like, I knew this was going on. And I'm going to nip it in the bud. And you're like, I don't care if I go to jail. How crazy is that, man? How crazy is that? You willing to throw your life away, but what about your children? They need you. They need you to be the best representative that you can, even if you're not with their mother. So some of y'all are dealing with betrayal. Some of y'all have, unfortunately, I'm not making light of this. I'm not, please. I'm not. But some of you have built your understandings of your relationships based off of betrayal. Some of y'all actually walk around thinking that if you don't have some conflict in your life, you're not loved. Let me tell you something. Love don't hurt, y'all. It don't hurt. It's supposed to be, it should spawn the best you ever. Why you think everything comes full circle? I know there's some people say, well, you know what? Because I've heard people say this, you know what? They put this out, which was a big misconception. You say lie at all costs. Come on, dog. That's why you going through what you going through now. Your reality was built off of a lie. So if your reality was built off of a lie, who you fooling? Everything that you know is an illusion. That's why it don't work. You got a good girl at home. You're not respecting her, but you want to go talk to Sally Mae. Sally Mae looking at you, talking about, oh, he's a come up, but little do you know, she got Manny, Mo, and Jack on the side. And you mad? So now you dealing with betrayal. I understand. My heart goes out to each and every person that has had to deal with that. Now let's take accountability on that. The reason why you're going through betrayal is to teach you not to do it because you've already done it. I know I'm talking to somebody. All those conversations that should have never happened. How about all those stolen moments that you took upon yourself and you had somebody loving you, worried about you, caring about your well-being, and you're acting like they ain't going nowhere. And Lord's been old to you. You come home to find out the truth. We all go through it. But let me tell you what. There is a blessing in betrayal. And I'm going to explain why. The blessing in that is this. That is divine intervention. That is God's way of saying, listen here, I love you so much. I can't deal with this foolishness no more. And this person or yourself, I'm going to give you an opportunity to change your path. Does it hurt? You're damn right it hurts. It feels like a death if you genuinely love this person. Why do you think And let's not get it twisted. I know some of y'all are saying right here, right now, you saying, well, Gerald, I go to work every day. I bring that check home every day. And they don't get me. Now you find out why. Let me tell you something. The reason that you are seeing what you're seeing right now is because that person that you allowed in your life is the teacher of that lesson. Oh, let's not go there. What about all those stolen moments? All that sleeping around you were doing? Hmm? How about all those lies that you told? Oh, they were just little white lies. But even a lie has a little grain of truth in it. It does. You just got to know where to look. Sometimes it requires you not to look at all. Because now you're playing with your logic. You realize how many people are sitting in mental health institutions because they done gone crazy, or they think they gone crazy. They're saying, I'm hearing voices. They ain't nothing but demons. You realize how many people are in cemeteries that should have never been there? Hmm? I'll peel this onion back now. Does it not strike you you are having more domestic fatalities occur now than ever? Hmm? And what? And unfortunately, who's benefiting from that? Commercially, is the suppliers, because they don't have any responsibility on your life. You do. But let's get back to the gist of everything, because right now you're hurting, and right now you are allowing the wrong advice in your ear. You're hearing people, you're going seeking advice to people, and you're hearing this. Man, if that was me, I would never do that. Boy, I do this and I do that. And you eating it up. But what you're not taking account for is this. Perhaps the person that you're seeking advice from, they don't want you to grow anyway. So they're going to give you anything to distract you from who you are. Now, does it negate from the pain or the reality that you've dealt with someone that did not see your worth? Because let's be honest, obviously they didn't see your worth, because if they did, they were protected. But they can't protect something of worth if they don't protect them. So what happened? You see it all the time. You see somebody in a relationship for a period of time, and then they part. Blink twice, they all up and with somebody else, trying to continue that same energy that they had where they were. But guess what? They never took the time to reflect on where they've been. So that becomes a habitual cycle. So what happens out of that? New faces, new places. But your body takes and has the scars. Systematically, you don't see what's going on, but your body has the history. Your emotional state is beaten down. And now you get to a point where you can actually say this: I hate women. I hate men. And because of your wound is so deep, what do? You go ahead and think, well, if I jump over the fence and get with someone just like me, which they are emotionally, because you got to have a like-mindedness going on, only to be hurt even more. That's where the numbness comes into play. So let's go back to the main point of this. I know somebody right now, you've been working on an exit strategy right now. You've been working on it for months. You know, it's like I'm gonna use what I got to get what I want. If that don't sound like a prostitute, I don't know what is. But in the irony of it all, you still want love, even if that means you got to steal it. Don't you realize every time you put yourself in positions, God, let me tell you something. The devil will show you whatever you need to show you to take your life. See, we know that as karma, y'all. Karma is nothing but a descriptive word of divine intervention. That's why it's so important to forgive. What about all those people? Do you have you got the courage to go in there in your closet and pull that gun out to take that person's life? You're going to take your life because you got this perspective. If I can't have you, nothing will. Nobody will. Come on, man. Who's winning? But more importantly, can you not see how selfish that is? Because guess what? You're going to leave a big ass, excuse my French, crater in your family history. It will never go away. It will never be healed. And guess what? It does a disservice to that little boy that looks just like you, or your daughter that acts just like you. Because as they grow up, guess what? They got the memory and the scars that my mama killed my dad. My dad killed my mom. My dad's in a life sentence. My mom's in a grave. Is that fair? And their life is already screwed for an indefinite period of time. Because guess what? You just open up a big door for every negative person to exploit your child. You see this play out all the time. You got two people. They have a child. Little do they know, they both are broken. That's why they're attracted to each other. That's why the physical aspect is priority. You're thinking, wow, man, she's got a fat old butt. She got a pretty face. She's going to make the pain go away. You make the pain go away. God ain't in that. Or I'll flip it. Queen, you allow your circle. Let's be honest. Every one of them broken. That's why y'all talk to each other. That's why y'all shoulders are so strong. But nobody will take accountability on their lives and have the audacity to say, I want a good man. You can't be, you never will get a good man because you're not a good woman. You're going to only receive substandard people that have the same traits as you. But that has nothing to do with what's going on right now because you're not trying to hear that. All you want to do is make the pain go away by making them go away. So you can't say you love yourself. Because if you loved yourself, why do you sleep around so much? Why do you take it upon yourself to think that, well, you know what? I'm going to morph myself into the ideal woman so I can attract the man of my dreams. You will never see the man of your dreams if God is not in front of it. You will never be able to have him until you decide to be still. See, God will reveal that man to you because guess what? He's got the keys to unlock that door called the rest of your life. You will never find him. You will find aspects or qualities. But see what happens? All that playing around, it left your butt sore. It left your heart broken. And now you got a darkness in your heart. Some of y'all got a darkness in your spirit because it's nothing but soul ties. Finally, thinking that they got the footing to end your life. Do you not see the correlation? Why you think you walking around paranoid? You so paranoid you lock your phone up. Come on, man. If you ain't doing anything wrong, why you gotta lock your phone up? You don't like the fact that they are observant. You know why they do that? Because God is in the mix of that. And even if they don't walk with God, God will still give opportunity to bring that knowledge to that person to say, hey, take note. Because that ain't nothing but discernment. That ain't a hunch. That's not a fluke. That's God still letting you know this ain't the way. But see, I understand that because some of y'all are only going off of how you were raised. You saw your family navigate their lives that way, and you think that's the way to do it. But if you take a step back, you will actually you'll take notice that everybody, they in pain. That's why when you try to talk to them, they can't talk to you. They may want to, but they can't because they got so much guilt on their shoulders. So who are they to give you sound advice? That would make them a big hypocrite. But that don't matter now. It don't matter. Because all you care about is you want to get back. Let me tell you something. There are millions of people that will never see their direction. They will never fulfill their dreams. They will never understand their purpose and why they exist. And this occurs because somewhere along the way, you made a conscious decision not to fight for you. Now, let's go back to what I said. I'm not going to drag this out. I would love to hear from you guys, But I'm a firm believer of this, y'all. The reason most people have had to deal with betrayal, guys, but let's be honest, you were playing and you didn't think about the recourse. You just going through life knocking them down. Queens, you were using your brain, stacking them up for what they could do for you, even if that meant, oh, I'll just give him some cookie. Oh, he's fussing, I'll just give him a warm meal. He be all right. But you both thought they ain't going nowhere. And all of a sudden, that day comes, and life as you knew it doesn't exist. You realize there's somebody right now gonna go to work, and they're gonna come home to an empty place. They're gonna think they got robbed. No. This was the coming before the storm. You already saw this. And you know what's sad about it? You didn't protect yourself. You didn't protect yourself. You actually thought that life as you knew it was going to be this way. Let me tell you something. You don't have control of your life, y'all. He do. So the blessing in that, because I know somebody's sitting there, well, what about the blessing, Gerald? I got you. The blessing in, if you've ever dealt with betrayal, is this. This will finally wake you up and cause you to be real with yourself. This will give you, it's like putting a reset button in your life. And everything that did not work, you'll make a conscious choice to look at it and work at it one by one, as long as it takes. Because if you don't do that, what is going to happen is you're going to bring somebody else in your life to damage it even more. I know I'm talking to you, queens. Some of y'all have not been in a fruitful relationship for over 20 years. And you're like, I know in my heart of heart I deserve a good man. Well, what about deserving a spiritual man? You will never find what you need with that guy that don't have a relationship with God. You might as well say, hey, here's my heart, here's my key, and run shot in my life. Why? Because he's knocking your back out? He's making you feel things and desires that you've never experienced before? So you have an underlining loyalty or mindset that you think, well, I got to protect this because if I let the next person have it, I'll be missing out. Yes, you will be missing out. You'll be missing out from the man that's supposed to be in your life. Everybody's desire, listen, everybody's is destined to have that one person. Like, say if your life is that puzzle, they have the other pieces to it. But if you turn around trying to fit all different puzzle pieces in different places, guess what you're going to get? You're not going to see the big picture. So, for the person that has the revelation right now, you've known this for a long time. Number one, stop talking to your friends. They're not your friends. They're not. Because if you weren't bringing whatever you were bringing to the table, that phone wouldn't ring. If you don't believe me, stop your communication for a while. See what happens. That'll be your clarity then. Can't you see the correlation? Anytime you try to talk about something that is on a heart level that deals with you, they ain't never got time for it. All right. Oh, I gotta go. Nah, dog. Ooh. Hey, man, I gotta take care of something. Why? Because they won't do it for them. So why you think they're gonna do that for you? They can't. They can't. And is that a friend? A friend loves you unconditionally. They will tell you what you need, not just to appease you. That's not a friend. That's an opportunist. So the blessing for those that are dealing with or have dealt with a habitual cycle of being betrayed, fortify your boundaries. Take ownership for your actions. Now is your time to understand and see the effect of it. See, you wasn't thinking about it when you were doing it. Now you feel like, okay, I done sold my oats, I'm ready to settle down. Let me tell you something. You're going to settle down for more pain. And these cats out here, you running out here trying to wipe up these wannabe pinups. I call them pull downs because all they're going to do is pull down. They're going to pull it off, let you do your thing, and give you a whole lot of grief. What you want is a woman that's going to love you, going to be there for you, and tell you what will help you grow. She sees the investment in you because she sees the investment in her, even if that means walking from you. Let me tell you something. You in there, you drinking, you thinking these negative thoughts, you doing a Cedric, like Cedric said, I wish a motherfucker would. You doing that. And you know what's sad about it? The intended people that you feeling that way about will never understand what you're going through. Some of y'all are going through that with your family. Some of y'all family members have more resentment with you than the strangers in your life. Why? Because they didn't have the courage and the fortitude to do it for themselves. How dare you grow? So this message is going out to somebody. You got free will to do whatever you want in your life. If you want to spend the rest of your days being somebody's kept dude, side chick, or the other woman, just notice those descriptive words don't have ownership. They have a lease to own mindset. No. Don't throw your life away for somebody that never deserved to hear you breathe. You take this time to invest and plant those seeds so the best you can be revealed. Well, I keep telling y'all, the person that you was yesterday ain't the person you are now. But the decisions you make today is going to impact the person you're going to become. Just make sure that God's in front of it. Why are you thinking the Bible says no weapon formed against us shall prosper? Because that devil is throwing a kitchen sink at you? Now let's spin it. So you got betrayed. You got cheated on. And you don't understand why. Watch this. Maybe it's not time for you to understand it. But as long as you keep focusing on you, trust and believe, they will learn. They're going to regret it. I don't wish bad on nobody, but they will. Because there's only one you. So you allow yourself to heal. You know all those dreams and aspirations that you got? All those things you put on the back burner because you were running after them? For what? For a downgrade? And I'm not saying that out of arrogance, but the truth of the matter is, and they can't dispute this, they know deep down in their heart you were the best thing that ever came into their lives. They know that. And sooner or later, when the numbness wears off, the tears are going to flow. You might not never know about it, but in the intended moment, you'll get your validation. So listen, maybe this is the time you need to have that conversation, that long overdue with him. He's waiting on you. What's stopping you is your pride and your ego. And that's blocking your happiness. You deserve better. Come on now. Come on, man. Come on, my queen. A virtuous woman knows herself. And she waits for her king because it's given by God. Why would God give you something you don't need? Really? They just did you a favor. They did you a favor, y'all. You might not realize it right now, but they did, because guess what? Now you get to step into your life. The life that was already yours that you put on delay. All right, y'all. And with that being said, you will not find the remedy in that bottle. You will not find that remedy getting high. You will not find that remedy sleeping with people that don't even know your middle name. All that does is build more problems. It builds soul ties. Because you got to understand, every time you lay down with someone, their spiritual essence is in you and you in theirs. So whatever they're going through, guess what? You get to see it firsthand, which is more lessons that you got to learn. I mean, come on now. Think about it. Devil will use whatever they have, whatever he has to get you to destroy your life. So queens, when you turn around and say, I want that man, I want a man to love me. I want a, you don't even use the word love. You want, so I just want a man. You don't want just any man. You want the one. Because let me tell you what, my kings, what I tell you, your last name, your legacy, that hash mark on that tombstone will define everything you are known from when you're not here. And just think, maybe now is the time that you will actually have courage to do the work. Stop putting a stopwatch on your life. Do the work, and the clarity will come. The healing will take place. And guess what? God will bring that person into your life. You'll know. You will know. You'll discern it. And guess what? Opportunists always look for opportunity. You're not an opportunity. You're an experience. Experience that deserves to be loved, treasured, and learned from. You're worth it, y'all. So I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't want to go this long, but I got a feeling somebody is actually thinking of doing something terrible, tragic. Nah, the devil's a liar. And let me wrap this up. Maybe this is the time now, because your ego and your pride has done a number on you. Why won't you go talk to a counselor? Why won't you talk to a life coach? Why won't you, if you're actively in the church, talk to a church elder? Maybe they can't give you the solution that you need, but they can point you in the right direction. It's your life that's at stake. Don't you think it's worth it? Come on. Because trust, there's plenty of people out there that make the news on what they shouldn't have done. That's not your legacy. Love yourself more. Now's the time to fight for you. You're worth it. God. I've been there, y'all. I understand. But you got so many blessings coming. The moment you take that first step, back to you. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Come on now. Now, the lies don't work. The delusion don't work. And all that distraction. For what? To cheat your life? Nah. You'll see. Put God first in everything you do. And if someone can help, someone you know might need this video, send it to them. It's their life, but more or less their spirit that's at stake. Be blessed, y'all.